Go back and do that. Only I would get
I said, well done.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. We're going to call tonight's meeting to order. If you will stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We start our meetings with the reading of the mission and vision statements.
Our mission statement, High Point Academy's mission is cultivating lifelong learners in a student-centered environment. Mission statement, High Point Academy's vision is to be an exemplary school choice for academically minded families. The 3 R's that we practice: rights, the right to a quality education, the right to a safe environment, and the right to reach my potential. Respect, I will respect my classmates, I will respect my teachers, I will respect myself. And responsibility, I'm responsible for my education, I'm responsible for my actions, and I'm responsible for my opportunities.
Thank you, Debbie. We're going to go on with the invocation for tonight.
Let's bow our heads, please. Jesus, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of our community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Amanda called earlier and she got held up at work, but as soon as she is able to come, she will be here. For our approval of the meeting agenda, I have two things of note. In executive session, item C, receive legal advice, caregiver education program. We have a guest that will be presenting that, so I will ask that will be moved to item A as soon as we move into executive session. And then additionally, Mr. Fertel, who is a newly elected board member, also is caught up in some activities of the day and is trying to get here as soon as he can. So I'm going to ask that we kind of hold the swearing in of board members, just keep moving it down the agenda until perhaps Mr. Fertel is here and can plug that back in. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended? Thank you, Kyle. A second? Matt, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Great. Thank you. Grizzly Spotlight.
All right, that's us. Ms. Buster, I believe you're up first. I'm very excited about tonight's student spotlights. We have an elementary chess club that happens every Tuesday afternoon. So we have many students who they have either participated in the fall semester or they're participating now in the spring semester. But they give up time every Tuesday afternoon to learn how to play chess. And as you can see in the bottom right picture, Mr. Lancaster is one of their coaches and teaches them how to do it. So he has been very instrumental in getting this club up and running, but it's a neat experience for all of these students. So we want to recognize the students who stay every week and have learned to play chess. Doc, Crystal, and Kimberly, I think some of them are not here. James Lancaster, Samuel Powell, Caleb Willis, Aiden Pradon, Kevin Miller, Wyatt Williams, Holden Laughlin, and Liam Waddell. All of these children are busy. And Tyrese Carpenter. All right, thank you.
All right, so middle school is going to recognize the students that participated in Shrek. So our Shrek cast members are Finley Bowman, Haley Colgrove, Lauren Colgrove. But I have to say his name this way. Oliver Huckabee. I overbaked it to death. Y'all have to tell him I did that, okay? Ariana Avenal. Your name the way I always say it too. Oh no. Madeline Jarvis. And Kaylee Ramos Romero.
I just want to say real quickly that our production of Shrek was the highest attended show we've ever done at High Point Academy. And we had a write-up from a critic that was outstanding that we have shared. I think it's been put on Facebook and in all our social media. But it was a fantastic show. Congratulations to all the parents and all the hard work that went into that show. It was absolutely amazing. Thank you all.
Each semester, the high school is required to give the end of course test in Algebra 1, Biology 1, English 2, and U.S. History. And we had 10 students make 11 perfect scores from the fall. And we would like to recognize them at this time. In Algebra 1, Jada Bradley. In Biology 1, Miroslav Berezhny. Brown, Leia Chandarana, Jacob Edens, Abigail Ledoux, Madison McCoy, in English 2, Alexander Dotson, Ellery Johnson, and the one student that just couldn't settle for one but got 2 in Biology and English 2, Sincere Fowler.
I do want to say that when we got here, we were very concerned about our EOC scores, and to have 11 students make 100 on our EOC scores, that is given statewide, and it's 20% of their final grade per state regulation. So that is an unbelievable accomplishment for our students. It's a tale of our parents, our students, and our teachers all working together, and it's wonderful to see that. Thank you all.
I'd just like to say congratulations again to the students and thank you to the parents and the families. Part of our mission is to cultivate lifelong learners and seeing your successes in your extracurricular activities as well as your academics. You guys are living out that mission, and we couldn't be more proud of y'all. Thank you so much. We do have several more items to continue along our meeting that you are welcome to stay for. However, if you would like to go ahead and free up the rest of your evening and go ahead and head on out, now's your time. Thank you all.
Really keeping them interested. It makes the biggest difference.
Thank you.
Y'all too. Bye-bye.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's something
Okay, so we are going to, just hold for a little bit on the swearing in of our board members, hoping that Mr. Patel will, make his way here. So moving on to approval of our February 26th minutes. Those were shared with the board. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding those February 26, 2024 minutes? Is there a motion to approve? Thank you, Jody. Is there a second? Matt? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, our February 2024 financial report is next. Thank you, David, for being here. We'll get you a certificate by the end of the year. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of go over the February report and the budget amendment that's kind of been used basically at the same time on the same report.
Okay.
The critical metrics again showing that your days cash on hand is healthy as usual. The enrollment is lower than the updated budget is 1238, not 1280. So that one cell is incorrect there. And with that budget change, we were at $440,000 to the positive in this bottom budget net income, saying that you would increase your fund balance by $440,000 as of June 30th. That was based off that 1280 enrollment count number. So with the enrollment dropping to 1238, as of the 116-day count, which is where that number came from, the updated budget amendment would put you at $134,000. So saying you would increase your fund balance by $134,000 as of June 30th. And there are a few other things that went to that, which I'll talk about briefly on the next page. That $134,000 would put you at a budget coverage ratio of 1.1, which is basically exactly what you need to get to meet the bond requirement. And that's when you do add in some capital items, which I have on my phone here. So I'm gonna scroll to the next page. So this is, again, your first column is the actual year to date from July through February. So that's 8 months. So 66% used is generally kind of where you want to be. The 59% used, there is still federal items to be claimed. A lot of it, salaries, you can claim at the end of the year once the semi-annual comes through, some IDA, Professor 3, etc. Similarly, on the salary side, we have the payroll accrual for July still, so that's kind of why the salaries here are lower than 66% remaining. The actual net income is $136,000, but we do show again that in June you'll have the June and July payroll accrual, as well as the debt service, which right now is a cash transfer. But the big sweep happens in June, and the same way happened in December, this past time, which is where that number line 6, where 39% will be used up when, $1.5 million goes through that service, so it happens kind of at once in June. Again, this amended budget number, so the enrollment is based off of, or your revenue is largely based off of your enrollment. There's $14 million of this $15 million is your state aided classrooms, the big line. So with that decrease in enrollment, and the differences in weightings, it was about a $469,000 decrease to the revenue. Which when we're at $440,000 to start with, puts you basically at zero. Now the changes to get you back up to $134,000 to the positive were basically all like 2 or 3 positions that were in the original budget, which was approved in May of last year, that were not filled. And therefore, when you adjust those out, you're kind of back up to $134,000 to the positive. Now, your debt service coverage ratio is this calculation down here. It's an important number we talk about every year. It is your net income, you add back your debt service, and also can add back capital expenditures. So typically we try not to put the add back capital expenditures in there just to be conservative, but we can account for this $65,000 that's already been spent and budgeted for. It's some MacBooks, 7-inch Sharp panels, some Dino laptops, Lenovo laptops, so some technology that's we can account for, and that's what we're going to put it in there as the add back. And then that is divided by this MAS number, the maximum annual debt service number, which is the most you'll ever pay in a given year for debt service, and that never changes to get to your 1.10 number. So if we didn't have to add back in capital, $190,000 is typically where we would have you, but again, we can account for these purchases already occurring, already being in this budget and in the actuals, so it's safe to add this back as part of this calculation. And then today's cash on hand, because you have a healthy cash balance, it's not really been a concern. Recently, it's still not a concern. So, any questions on any of those items? I'm going to go.
Thank you for sharing that. Any questions for David or the finance team? Okay. Thank you.
How much David, the budgeted net income, how much does that have to drop before we drop below the 1.1? Because it looks like it's right on
Yeah, I mean,
the edge.
$10,000.
Okay, yeah, so it's not much.
Yeah, it's not much.
All right, so you shared some of those budget amendment items along with that February financial update. So that takes care of our item D. Aflac, we have talked before with the opportunity for changing the plans that Aflac offers to group plans for the employees. It allows them to offer more robust plans as well as additional options for the employees by going to group plans. We had gone over that, and recommendation is to approve allowing Aflac to offer group plans. Is there any discussion around that? Any questions about that? Do we have a motion to approve Aflac group plans for next school year? Thank you, Kyle. Is there a second?
Sure. I'll second.
Matt, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Are we, yeah. Are we amending the budget again?
Okay,
So we did.
So what's the? To accept the budget as an amended budget as presented.
okay.
What's the amendment? So what are we amending
Right,
to?
that's what-
1235 from 1280 to 1235?
Okay. All right, yes, as David said, the budget, 1238, I think is what he had. Is there a motion to amend the budget as presented?
Motion.
Matt, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Debbie, all in favor? Any opposed? All right. Our superintendent's report.
Thank you very much. We'll start with our quote. It's hard to share this with children. Students don't understand this quote, but I think as adults, it's very telling for us that you gotta pay the price to have a seat at the table to get to excellence. So we push that very hard. Next slide, enrollment update. As of this morning, there was 300 people in the lottery. Letters went out for them today, about 4 o'clock. Last I talked to Joe, 88 people had already accepted by 6 o'clock. So, almost a third of them have already accepted their seat. Enrolled is on the left, applied is to the right. Right now, we have for next year 1,409. Actually, it's 19 because we've had 10 more since 4 o'clock when we did that. We all know that not everyone who applied is going to come. We know some students are going to leave, and we know some other students are going to come. But that is where we sit right now. If it was August the 8th, this is what we start school with. We know that number is going to change. It could change a lot. It could change a little. We just don't know. But that's where we sit as of right now. That's our enrollment for next year. And the registration for those returning has gone out. So all those are out. We're going to be working. Open house is on the 11th. Gray, would you like to speak to the open house since you're heading that up?
Can. We've gone back and forth. Sometimes we've done events after school. Sometimes we've done registration part during school, but we've never really done the tours as part of that. So this year we decided we were going to try a little bit of both. So we'll have a session that goes from 8:30 to 1:30 where parents can come in. We're going to start them off in here. This will kind of be our holding area. We'll have Shrek, with recording of Shrek going so they can watch the musical while they wait. And then we'll give them a tour of the full building. We'll start with the elementary and then hand our way off up to high school. And then they'll end in the library where if they want to, they can go ahead and fill out the online registration. Even though it's online, we know sometimes that people have trouble filling out different parts of it. And our hope is that that piece of it would not be something that causes them frustration and keeps them from enrolling. So I'll have people to help them with that. And then we'll also do an evening session that will run from 4:30 to 7:30. But one of the big pieces of it that we're hoping will be different is we're going to take all of the children that have been accepted and divide them up amongst our staff members and have them make a phone call home to invite parents to the open house. One of the things that we found is if we can get people in the door of the building to show them what we're doing, we seem to have a pretty good track record with getting them to register and stay. The new battle that we seem to be facing that we haven't faced in previous years is there's so many other charter schools that are open. Parents will be in the lottery for all of them, and then they're waiting to see. So we're hoping that with a phone call home and a personal invite, that will make us stand out on the ones that they've registered for, and hopefully we can. Kind of the motto that we have for the open house is to seal the deal. We want to seal the deal and actually get the students to enroll and come here.
Thank you very much, Gray. Any questions on our open house numbers? All right, moving along. Sandy, you're up.
Okay, contracts. Our contracts, will go out on April 15th. They're going on April 15th because by then, the Senate will have approved the budget for the raises for our teachers. So we're gonna wait until the 15th before we send out those contracts, because we don't wanna have to redo them. So we wanna do one time, get it correct, and have those teachers increases on those contracts. So, April 15th will be the date. New hires, we have a new hire here, and we are proud to introduce our new elementary assistant principal, Mrs. Antrina Miller Harris. She's coming to work for this great school. She's gonna fit in well with the culture, with these great teachers, great staff, great team, great students. So welcome again, Antrina.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so she's here. We had a teacher to resign. We already know that she's gone, the math teacher in middle school, and we have her replacement already. And so that's about it.
Thank
Do you have anything? I'm sorry.
Ms. Harris, would you like to stand up and just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from and all of that?
Yes, please do.
Well, I was born and raised in Spartanburg, and I started my career out in social work, and it became too heavy for me, so I started substitute teaching, and that kind of led my path to education. I have been in education for about 24, 25 years. The last 6 years I've spent in administration in Greenville County at Sterling School. But I've been in Title I schools. I've been in about 5 different schools in Spartanburg, 7. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me to the board meeting and to be a part of the school.
Welcome, Ms. Harris. We got a lot of work for you. Can't wait to have you on board.
Ms. Harris, what is your first name?
Antrina,
Spell it for me.
Antrina.
Thank you.
All right, so next we go to the approved building updates. Mike, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So we have, our 3 items that we're doing right now. We had to frame in where our banner signs were. We've got that completed and we have that stuccoed and ready to go. Our signs they've been ordered, so they're being made now. We're looking at getting those in a few weeks. I'm not exactly sure the time frame on that.
I think May the 1st is installation.
Installation May the 1st. And then, of course, our painters are here now. They just started. They'll go through and they'll wash the school, and they'll start the painting, and we should come back from spring break with a new look. Now, they won't be completely finished, but they'll have a lot of the front finished up by spring break, and over the next several weeks, they'll finish it up, and we'll be looking really good on the outside.
Very good. Mike, will you give an update on the roofing project?
Roofing project, yeah, so our roofing project on our new roof, we did have some issues. I think we've all talked about that. We had some issues where the old roof come together with the new roof. There was some flashing issues, and we ended up having to come back out. They took down the gutters and they resealed everything. They pulled all the old roof back a couple of feet, and they redid all of that so that everything that comes into the new side everything is fresh, which stopped all of our leaks on the 500 and 600 hallway, which was the really bad ones. We still had one leak in the middle of the PAC. We're down to one leak. We had the guys out Friday. He went up and tried to address that. He thinks he's got that, but we're gonna have a water test done on this next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. So they'll come out and do a water test there and on another section of our roof over at the steam room, and try to get those leaks taken care of as well. But as far as our new roof, everything is finished. We're complete. We're down to that one, and we think that we have it, but after that water test next Tuesday, we'll know for sure on that. But we're looking good, especially on that really bad side with 500 and 600 hallway work. They're really bad. So we're brand new roof on that side, so we should be good for a long time.
And it's supposed to rain for the next 2 days. I guess we'll know tomorrow maybe. It's not gonna rain.
Yeah, we'll get a natural water test. But, yeah, we'll bring out water just to make sure. We're gonna do that during spring break, so there's no kids here, so we're actually gonna make it leak a little bit so that we can go and find exactly where it is. I'll be working with them on Tuesday of next week. So
We have a sprinkler test on Wednesday.
we have a sprinkler test on Wednesday as well, so I'll be here Tuesday and Wednesday.
So the alarm goes off all the time, so it's good to do that with the students. It's a little frustrating. So that's our approved building updates. Hopefully before the end of school for graduation, we will have our signs up. We will have our building painted. And the Building and Grounds Committee are working on some landscaping efforts that we're not quite ready to finish, but we're working on those as well. So a lot going on at High Point right now on our, giving us a new face look outside. Graduation reminder, May the 17th. You all will be getting a packet, board members, end of April, which will have your tickets, place to park, and all of that. Our mayor has backed out, Jerome Rice. His wife is graduating, getting her doctorate that weekend, and he did not know, but they have to be there on a Friday night event, so he has backed out. I have asked Dexter Davis to come and speak. I talked to him on the phone the other night. He's supposed to let me know by tomorrow if he can come. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but that's where we sit with graduation and our speaker. But Mr. Rice was very kind and said he would be glad to do it the next time that we have it. He had to be there for his wife's graduation, which I don't blame him. She would probably not like it if he wasn't there. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Sherman or Mr. Houston, any of those things shared? All right. Next on our agenda is the library policy that we have reviewed. Is Ms. Huckabee here? Okay. Is Ms. Huckabee here? Does she want to share anything about it? No. Anything you want to add? That's fine. The library policy that was presented, is there a motion to approve? I've got Debbie. Is there a second?
Second.
Josh, thank you.
Can I ask one
Any
question?
further discussion?
Is this the approval with her corrections?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, textbook adoption.
Well, I think that we had selected the Hope Midland Hardcore, which is the, one that was, our staff is really behind, and they also correlates with the math test. So that's the one that we have selected, so we just are asking your, to vote to approve that for us, and once you have approved it, then I will go into the State Department and select it for us.
Okay.
I read over this now.
Yeah, I was just gonna, so the recommendation is to approve the,
Adoption of the Hope Midland Hardcore, textbook.
right. Is there a motion to approve that?
I'll move.
Matt, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is that a count? Thank you. All in favor?
Who seconds?
Thank you. I'm glad you pronounced that.
Houghton, it's Houghton.
Hope Midland.
Very good. Great. All right, have you heard anything from Mr.?
I have not.
Our last thing to do this evening is to swear in our new board members. We have two returning, re-elected board members, that have been elected for another 2 years. That is Josh and Tika. And then we have Miss Sarah Hawk, who as well was elected to a 2-year position. So the three of those will be swearing in this evening. We'll just go start with Tika, alphabetical order. Mary Allison is going to next.
Right, you want me to come up to the front, or I'm gonna
However you're comfortable.
Okay.
All right. If you'll raise your right hand Repeat after me.
Okay.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I am duly qualified,
that I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of this state,
according to the Constitution of the state,
to exercise the duties of the office
to exercise the duty of the office
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will,
that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve, protect, and defend,
preserve, protect, and
defend
defend
the Constitution of this state
the Constitution of this state
and the United States.
and the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
We're just gonna say in alphabetical order and go ahead and say our
Okay, next. If you'll just repeat after me, just like, I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I am duly qualified,
that I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of this state,
according to the Constitution of this state,
to exercise the duties of the office
to exercise the duties of the office
to which I have been elected,
to which I've been elected,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve,
and preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of this state
the Constitution of this state
and of the United States.
and the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Last but not least, I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I am duly
that
qualified,
I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of this state,
according to the Constitution of the state,
to exercise the duties of the office
to exercise the duties of the office
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve,
and preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of this state
the Constitution of this state
and of the United
and
States.
of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me
Congratulations.
We appreciate your willingness to serve the school, serve our families, serve our community students. Just looking forward to the next few years. All right, are there any public comments?
No, there are.
Okay. Now, do we have a motion for executive session for the purposes of receipt of legal advice and pending contractual arrangements? Josh, is there a second? Mika, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We're in executive session. Thank you all.